In Bonfire at the Vanities, Bruce Willis, as Peter Fallow, has a chance to see both sides of the spectrum, the haves and the have-nots, Wall Street, the Bronx. Bruce, I'm wondering, as an actor, if a successful actor, at least in his or her lifetime, doesn't also have a chance to see the haves and the have-nots.
Oh, you bet. You bet. When I moved to New York in 1977, I was a have-not. When I left New York in 1984, I was still a have-not.
So you had to wait for the other coast to become a have.
Yeah, actually.
It is kind of an interesting way of approaching this, because few of us have a chance to see such extremes in our lives, even if we are successful, whereas you have.
It's a peculiar thing. I guess I'm like a freak of nature or something. I don't know. I can't imagine that I don't know. There's no way that I can explain to you how I feel about what has happened to me in my career.
Really?
There's no way. There's nothing that I can say. I mean, I can tell you, gee, it was kind of like a meteoric rise to fame and all that stuff. But man, what's going on inside of me? I still think of myself as like this guy, just a guy who just wanders around and wants to be an actor and kind of.
So it's not hard to put yourself.
Finishing up a house out there, yeah.
So it's really not hard to put yourself back into the frame of mind of the have-not when you were one of, what, 3,000 people in moonlighting?
I still feel much closer to that guy, to the have-not guy, than I do to, to finding some kind of acceptance for where I'm at now in my life. It's a strange thing.
Do you think the character of Peter Fallow may share that sentiment? He always will still be in his mind a have-not?
I think he always knows that he doesn't really deserve what has happened to him. I mean, that's the, I try not to take it too seriously. I try to, I tried to find a way. I wanted to make this guy a real scumbag. I wanted to I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to take a shot at all these yellow journalists who have been coming after me for the last 5 or 6 years, and I found that really wasn't as important to me as getting inside the dynamic of why an intelligent man who knows the difference between right and wrong will still choose to do the wrong thing instead of the right thing. That was a lot more interesting.
Instead of getting into somebody else's moccasins, in this case, you got into another journalist's hat. Yeah. That hat, Bruce. Where did the hat come from?
I love that hat. It was a special hat. See, the thing I like about that hat is it makes me look stupid. It's kind of a humiliating hat, and I'm tired of seeing these actors wear hats that make them look good in films. And I'm trying to change. I'm trying to affect some change in Hollywood.
Do you think sometimes it's tiny little details like that that can make or break a characterization on screen?
I like details. I like little things. I like things that not everybody gets. I like little things that make things different for each role. I continue to try and stretch myself and try and do things that interest me, things that I'm not necessarily sure that I can do. I mean, this was not necessarily a safe choice for me. There were other things that I could have done that I would have been much more comfortable with, or much sure that I would have done a good job at. I think I'm still waiting to hear whether people think I did a good job in this thing.
In closing, I guess you're one of the people that are warming your hands at this bonfire. You're profiting from it in a way.
You bet.
Bruce Willis. He is Peter Fallow. We're both in Hollywood talking about Bonfire of the Vanities. I'm John Tibbetts for KCTV5.